let's just get down to business. I don't have a lot of time for fluff. This is a 1962 Fender 6G15 reverb unit. This board was populated with old Illinois caps, which have all started leaking. These are both 1962 Schumachers. It's in pristine condition. There's no oxidation on this chassis. All the hardware is shiny. The power cord is rubbery and supple. All of the leads, rubbery and supple. Unbelievable. Let's flip her over carefully. The old early 60s style bluish filament wiring, super clean. There's no dust in here. There's no dust. There's 1, 2, 3, possibly 4 caps, which have been changed. And I'm willing to wager that this nasty Astron needs to go bye-bye. I'm beside myself. I'm just absolutely beside myself. It's still got the original fuse. The cabinet, I'm going to have to roll in some footage that I took last night. I couldn't help myself. This wrecked my night's worth of sleep here. I had an opportunity to finally catch some sleep, and this thing ruined my night. I just could not help myself. But take a look. It's immaculate. It's immaculate. It's got a replacement reverb tank. It's got an old old style Accutronics, which are great tanks. It's going to sound great. It's going to sound fabulous, man. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And I'm at a loss for words for once. I don't get starstruck. But Rob, Mr. French, I was kind of chatting with you back and forth a bit as I was uncovering this, and I think we were both pretty amazed at the condition. This is an original, even the pilot lamp, the bulb for the lamp. Is original. And you can tell because the glass has like a wavy appearance. A vintage glass. Love it. You can see that same optical artifact if you go to like a historic district of your whatever city is local to you. If you look at the windows on those old buildings, those old houses, you'll see that waviness at if you look at a pretty steep angle down the pane of glass. And it's just the same thing with these bulbs. But obviously, we're going to be replacing a power cord. The grommet and this grommet here, everything is supple. It doesn't make sense. Was this vacuum sealed? It just doesn't make sense. So let's get about rebuilding. Let's get about rebuilding this guy. And I'm referring to the filter pack board, and you can see where the prior tech had twisted the leads on the way in. He had two 20 microfarad Illinois in parallel all the way down. And that's okay. He did a good job. He actually did a good job. So I'm pretty happy. Pretty happy. So what are we going to do? We're going to lift this board and we'll get the eyelets cleaned out, and then we'll repopulate with some quality pieces. Bye. All right, so you want to make sure you lift these boards up and inspect underneath. And you also want to make sure that you're doing that so you can put a nice tight crimp on that lead on the other side, so you have a nice mechanical joint as well. All right, let's clean up these solder joints. Got a little dab of silicone underneath each one, about pea size. That's about all you need. I'll go ahead and clean the flux off of these guys and get her sealed up. All right, this is just getting ridiculous, and I know it's long in the tooth, but just to drive the point home, you know that if you have a 1967 whatever Fender, this stuff turns into tar, and it's hard. Watch this. Just rebounds. It still feels like foam. Unbelievable. Okay, so let's address this rectifier board. And really one of the only examples of any sort of white rust or oxidation that you're going to see is on these cleverly designed, I don't know, prehistoric Keps nuts. Look how cool that is. Let's get that off. All right, no time for these sultry shots with the camera today. With my phone, it's a phone. Let's get real. So I've got to go. I've got to pick up two little crazy kids that I just so happen to love. That's all right. Is this not the cutest little rectifier board you've ever seen? And it is. Come on, it's adorable. Well, let's get in there and look at the details. Look at that. Beautiful. As a matter of course, I will be replacing these with some 1N4 007s because that's what you do. But again, all the old parts will be returned with this unit to the rightful owner, who's one lucky dude. But something kind of funny. Do you know that when I opened up the shipping box, these were sitting right there on top? So what I usually do is once a year, ever since I turned 40, once a year I'll try them on, and I say, the year that they make a positive difference, then I can say, hey, I'm old. Well, guess what? These are tremendous, and I don't know if you're getting these back, buddy, but you know, I guess a tribute and testimony to the guys over at UPS. These guys were just unscathed, not even packed. They were just sitting on top of the packing. Anyway, let's get down to this, and you know, I've said it a million times. And is made evident by the copious amount of video I've captured. And look, it's gonna be heavily fragmented. I don't have time to make a seamless Hollywood production, but let's capture some of the magic of this thing, if we can do that. One of the coolest things about these and these old amps are the types of things that you can find when you open them up. You never know what kind of evidence or what kind of little historical artifacts you'll find in there. Sometimes it's a cool little signature. Sometimes you'll find extra bits of wire and some other stuff, bits of tape with the assemblers or technicians' initials on it. You find all that stuff. I found this cool little solder blob sandwiched in between the filter pack board. So let's see what's up in this one. You know, I love I love the design of their boards. And is it an OCD thing? Yeah, perhaps. I love it. It's just so cool and unique. The way they do that stuff. Let me guess. Loudmouth. Oh. Dated December 3rd, 1964. Frank, it's me again. You from the past. If you can read this, you suck. Frank. P.S. Stop making shitty movies about your day job. Loser. We're going to move on. We're just moving on. I'll be back. Hey Mike, how's it going? I'm about done with the interior of your chassis here. So I'll start from the input side. This bypass cap tests as new. And what do you expect? It's a beautiful Nichicon, so it can stay. Everything else is within spec. I changed this cathode bypass cap for the appropriate value. I repositioned this cap that the prior tech had placed in there. This is for my personal stash of vintage orange drop caps that I hand test for ESR, EPR, leakage under the appropriate voltage conditions, and then capacitance as well. It's the appropriate value, 0.002 microfarads. This guy is perfect as you would expect. These larger carbon copper resistors hardly exhibit any drift over time. Its cathode bypass cap, or its bypass cap, has been replaced with a unit that has not drifted severely. So it's well away from there if you're wondering why it's asymmetrical, because I like to keep it away from this little heat source. Your rectifier board has been rebuilt. I have a little more tidying up to do in the place, as you can tell. New power cord. Actually found an old stock unit that matches the aesthetics perfectly. Got a nice little chassis solder joint there, and your wiring is up to code. Now, what do we have left to address? All that remains at this point, we're going to take some measurements again. Then we're going to go through a systems check, load her up with some tubes, and get this show on the road. Now, I know you have an aftermarket Chemtronics tank in there, and those are very nice. And the tank you have is one of the earlier Chemtronics, which are just beautiful tanks. Don't stress out about that. I know the spring damper, you might be having some trouble with that mechanically. I'll take a peek at that and see what I can do. Otherwise, should have her back to you shortly, barring any unforeseen incidents. Bye.